A similar one? Wow. A similar one? A similar one? A similar one? A similar one? Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. We're talking anime and we're talking Dota 2, a collaboration between Valve and Netflix. Who would have thought that would ever come into fruition? But here we are. We've had a similar one. A similar one? Wow. A similar one? That's an interesting word. Like a Dragon's Dogma. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I like what they did that. But let's jump into it. This is spoilers, so here's your warning. So Davian is our main protagonist, Dragon Knight Hunter, and we see him right at the beginning with a fantastic sequence when he's fighting this dragon. He basically schools the dragon, the wire spools around him, he jumps in and he ends up fighting the dragon underneath. There, later in the tunnel, he meets an elderworm dragon. I think it was Alderak, and Alderak gets destroyed basically by Terrorblade, this demon that is possessing people's bodies. Then we have another dragon that is being called the kind of the main good bad dragon. Like who are you rooting for in this series? I'll stick with the Dragon Knight, and so he gets possessed to stop Terrorblade. And so the whole time I'm thinking, yeah, very similar to a Dragon's Dogma in that way. But the whole time we know after he gets told that he is dying, which I think adds a really nice, intense pressure to the storyline. You feel sad for our protagonist. We also then have, once he meets the lead Dragon Knight, Kaden, we also have this weird kind of juxtaposition of he's my hero I'm looking up to, oh damn, he's gonna kill me. And so we're not sure whether he wants to kill Davian because he has this dragon inside him, or whether he's going to try and free him. But he also has 20 years of fighting for this particular dragon as well. And so there's a lot of turmoil there in that relationship, which I thought was really nice writing. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So if we skip to the ending, we have Davian being taken by the Dragon Knights themselves, this whole team. And we're led to believe that they're going to try and remove the dragon. I'm here for the boy, he says. So in my mind, he's going to try and separate that. But I think the writers have written specifically this dragon to be in Davian. So I imagine that's not going to quite work, but they need a way for our protagonist hero to stay alive. And so there's going to be something like a magic that can contain the dragon but stop him dying. They need to come to an agreement inside, maybe sharing the soul. Sometimes like you have that certain thing where Naruto has to harness the power of the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails has to respect them. Something along that lines. I think that could possibly be where the storyline will go. We also have the princess who has now lost a lot of her people. The goddess they've been worshipping is dead because the sorcerer made a deal with Terrorblade, and because I'm guessing he tried to get the power to raise his daughter, and I think he's going to get more and more evil because he can't accept the death of his daughter. Obviously his wife or his partner, the goddess, had the power to heal her, but she doesn't have the power to bring her back. And he's been learning more and more about life and death, and he's trying to obviously still bring her back. He's consumed with her death. So that's going to be a storyline. I think he's going to end up being the big bad and probably team up with Terrorblade again. He's the type of sorcerer that you knew not to trust from the beginning, but you didn't think he was completely evil until each episode goes along. You're like, yeah, the more and more you see with this dude, the more and more it seems like he is just, you know, his magics are bad, but you understand where he comes from. I like that about a bad guy, because you understand how he got there. You know, the more his relationship was twisted with that sorceress, who is basically the big bad that, you know, kind of spawned everything. And then we have the big bad, the Terrorblade, the demon, which we know almost nothing about. There's been no backstory apart from that he's the big bad, which is a terrible bad guy. You just know he's powerful and he's going to come and try and kill everything, blah, 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 blah. We need more backstory with him. So I'm hoping that in season 2, we get more backstory with him. Marci and Mirana are now going to have to figure out what to do without the power of the moon, without their goddess. Who are they going to worship? I'm presuming that we're going to get whatever that crystal is in the snow, drawing people into it and turning them rabid into cannibals. That's going to come into play as well. So there's all these threads that really were unanswered, and we can surmise and guess where we think it's going to go. Like the princess is going to have to be the new leader, even though she doesn't want to, because her kind of opposite is obsessed with blood and power. She's obviously still going to be around, and I'm not sure that it was wise to let her live, because they have fundamental differences in their thinking, in their way of thinking. And even though she might see the error of her ways, her being that character, I don't know that character will be ever written differently. Unless she becomes another big bad and joins another group. I don't see that happening. She'll have to obey the princess, which I think is probably the way it's going to go. I would love to know more about Marci. Like I said in my original review, we know next to nothing about her. However, she's mute and ridiculously strong, and that is something I need to know about. We also know they have 2 cats. One was trapped in netting. I don't know if it survived. I really hope the cat survived, but they seem really intelligent. At one point, the cat brought a twig along to help the leg be when Marci's leg was or knee was broken, to help stabilize it so they could wait to take it to another person to be healed. So that shows a level of intelligence that, of understanding of how to fix things. So a real level of intelligence. So do they understand language? There's so much lore and rich diversity in this anime, or in this series, in this world, that you really want to know about, but there's so much that's been left unanswered and not really explored, which I'm hoping that they do explore. So let me know your theories down below. I think it could be interesting. Those are kind of where I think the story could go. The explanation of this series is that they basically left everything hanging on the air. We obviously know that the wizard or the sorcerer betrayed them all. He was playing them all. That's why that last episode is called the chess move, I think. Or a battle chess move, something like that, because he was possessing everything he needed to make sure that his partner, who he blames killing his daughter, was dealt with. At the same time, now we have our heroes who have been split up on their own journeys, and they're going to have to come together. So I think it's very interesting. I think it could be a lot of fun to see them draw together, fight the big bads again, which is Terrorblade, which is the sorcerer, which is possibly more demons and cannibals. We need to know much more about the world. Let me know in the comments below where you think it's going to go. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.